question today is looking at digitalization. So how has digitalization shaped the customer's shopping experience? How has digitalization shaped the customer's shopping experience? And I believe we have Eileen and Michael who will be jumping on this question. Eileen, are you out there?
Yes, here I am, James.
Hi, Eileen. Would you like to kick us off?
Sure, no problem. And good morning, everyone, and hello from Shanghai. So I would say before I share my opinion on this one, what I can share a bit is, I would say, because as a person and a business runner for mainland China, in the past 10 years is pretty much the rival of the digitalization of the whole shopping behaviors here in mainland. I can share some of the big figures that in the past 10 to 15 years, we've witnessed over 95% of the consumers in China has done the online shopping. And do not forget that for China, we have 1.4 billion people. So what you're looking at is over 1.3 billion people has done the online shopping. Talking to I would say my current area, which is on the cosmetic environment, what we had achieved last year for the total of cosmetic market on 86 million euro. We've seen the online business for the first year, starting 2022, to surpassing the offline business. So you've seen that the consumers are now more than 50% are actually spending for online. So the business turnover has completely shifting, which means for not only for the consumers, but for the business owners, that your focus for the next part, for the next 10 years, will be more and more for e-commerce and online. Regarding from consumer side, I can talk my observation and also me as a person, because in the past, when the consumer make I would say a shopping, we say the normal funnel of the shopping behaviors from aware to interest to purchase loyalty. And normally they will changing from a lot of traditional channels and then moving into maybe going to the stores, going to retail funnels, going to let's say some of the biggest cosmetic stores for Watsons in partially here. But now what we see that in the past 3 years, the decision from the consumers has been faster and faster. I would say 5 years ago, you see them starting to looking at the ads on social media, then they jump to the e-commerce platform to make the purchase. And maybe they come back when you do the data tracking or CRM loyalty program. However, nowadays, especially starting last year when TikTok for China opened up their e-commerce practice, you see consumer can make their decision from aware to loyalty in one stop, which means they heard about your brand on TikTok, they interested, they immediately purchase. So it's becoming faster and more fascinating. You can do everything in one stop. So this is definitely one of the observation that we've seen so far. Another part, what I would like to share is, I'm sure everyone here is agree nowadays that it is more and more important to create a social community and the importance of the opinion leaders, because they are, so I would say from a daily basis that celebrity serves one part to influence the consumer behavior, but from another side that the person next to you could also influence you quite a lot and from a more digitalized impacts. And from a business perspective, regarding this, I've seen that in the past 10 years ago, when you run a business, you probably only spend 5%, 7% on social media. But here, my planning this year for the social media and KOL investment is already 35% of my net revenue. So you've seen from a business side this huge evolution when you're done the business. And the last point I want to make is that if you're looking at the landscape, or from consumers' longer term behavior, is that they're not So shopping behavior becoming that offline doesn't disappear, it's just served for a different purpose. Where the consumer go to offline store is more for understanding the brand and experience. However, most of the time they will make the shopping or they will make their second purchase and becoming your loyalty member from an online transaction perspective. So this is to providing some of the ideas to how can you combine online and offline from a financial perspective, but also from a marketing perspective together. So that's part of my sharing.
Fantastic. Thanks, Arlene. It's amazing to hear how many people are online shopping in China, 1.3 billion. We have 280 million people here in Indonesia. You have 1.3 billion online. It's amazing. Thank you very much for that. Very insightful. Michael, over to you.
Okay, hi from Bangkok. So I think for digitalization, it does shape the consumer behavior and shopping experience. I think it's really tremendous change because actually I would say that for Thailand, right, if I look back last 12 years, so like 2010, when talking about like digitalization, actually it's very early stage. But if we look at today, actually it's not only about changing the consumer behavior, but I think it changed entire the retail business. Because actually all of the customer touch point has been changed because, okay, I give you one example, like payment. Because if you're talking about like Thai people now, today, everyone is already like familiar with like paying everything online or doing like cashless payment, which is like never being considered last 12 years. And also in terms of like lots of like social media has been evolved. I do agree with what Eileen sharing that like from the beginning, actually social media is like playing the role as like giving information, and then after that people will really like transit to e-commerce, whether like platform or whatever, and then now you can see the mix of like social commerce that now is already like for the consumers, they already being evolved and educated. So this is one of the things that for all the brand, the retail, all the product have to really like, adapt to the change of this because the media is also changed. That in the past 10 years, I would say that in Thailand, definitely like everyone will really spending 70% on the conventional media like TV or like newspapers. But now today, we can see like the shifting is going to the social media and also like other digital platform. And also for the delivery, because actually this is also changed for the consumer shopping experience. When the past, when the online shopping behavior not yet being adopted, people still have no idea that when they click on the virtual platform and pay the cash, and then how they would get the product, how many days the product would be authentic or not, and if the product has something wrong, how they can really apply the after sales. So I think this is really like changing the entire of like the journey that the consumer has changed from the digital. And also one thing is clearly see also that if you look at like last 2 years, that when the pandemic is really like hit, right? Definitely like most of the offline store and like conventional shopping is being like problem because people cannot really go out because of the pandemic. So people really shifting to have more transaction during that time. And actually for some product, because you know in my previous company, I used to be with RB before, and one of the product role that is really like have good sales is Durex for the sexual well-being product. In the past, actually for Thai people, we are not really like that comfortable to go to the store and okay, just buy this kind of category. So the online is really like what they are preferred. But during the pandemic, actually, it seems to be that everyone is adopted to buy every category, regardless of what format. So this is one thing that actually can say that how digitalization is really like changed for the consumer behavior shopping experience. That would be what I would share.
Fantastic. Thank you, Michael. Very insightful. Yeah, I'm also one of those people who started shopping a lot online during the pandemic. It was a big shift, but I think we all experienced that at the same time. Thanks a lot for all of your insights. Okay, so on to question number, okay, let's just run through some of the quick highlights before we jump on to question number 2. I won't read all of these out. Again, we will share the slides with you, so you can go through this after. but just to give you some of the highlights. So certainly an increase in the use of mobile shopping, a wider variety of payment options now out there, and a lot of competition between those companies to get us using their platforms, which is good for us. Lots of sales, lots of discounts, increased influencer marketing. We see a lot of that. I'm based in Bali. We seem to only have influencers over here. Live commerce and shoppertainment, and offline became an experience center of online transactions. Brick and mortar stores more and more becoming a place to check out products before you buy them online is what we're seeing. Okay.